I'll go ahead and call to order the meeting of the License and Variance Board. Today is Wednesday, June the 8th. First item on the agenda is item 2A, which is a privileged license agent change request to LIC 2022-07, beer and wine retail package 4480 South Cobb Drive, Public Supermarkets, DBA Public Supermarkets Incorporated number 753, with Bruce Humphreys as the agent. Is the applicant present? Good morning. If you could please step forward to the podium. How are you? Good. And if you could, for the record, state your name, please.
Bruce Humphreys.
Mr. Humphreys, could you describe to this board policy that your corporation has that ensures the responsible sale of alcohol? Right. So when somebody comes to a Publix to buy alcohol, how does Publix ensure that it's sold responsibly?
Oh, yes, sir. Well, everybody is trained that is allowed to sell alcohol. And then basically we're checking the ID for, any persons that appear under the age of 40. So that's kind of what we do.
Okay. And could you describe your role with Publix?
I'm a district manager.
Okay.
So I have responsibility for 11 stores in 9 stores in Cobb County and 2 in Paulding.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So how often would you say that you're at this particular store?
At least once a week.
Okay. And are you the registered agent for any other facilities?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. All of them in Cobb County,
Okay.
of the 9 that I'm responsible for.
Any questions for the applicant? Okay. Just one second, sir. So for the record, we do have on file the required training certificate that you're supposed to have. Also, for the record, the Smyrna Police Department did do the background investigation that's required and found nothing that would preclude the issuance of this privilege license. So if there's no further discussion, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve privileged license agent chain request LIC 2022-07, beer and wine retail package at 4480 South Cobb Drive Southeast, Public Supermarket Incorporated, doing business as Public Supermarkets Incorporated, number 0753, with Bruce Humphreys as agent.
Second.
I'll call for the vote. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Have a good day, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Next item on the agenda is LIC 2022-08, beer and wine retail pouring 2579 South Cobb Drive. Naja Cuisines, DBA Naja Cuisines African Restaurant and Bar, with Esther Ademiju as agent. Is the applicant present? Good morning. If you could please come to the podium. And for the record, if you could state your name.
My name is Esther Ademiju.
Okay. So similar to what you just heard me ask the applicant, could you kind of describe your role with this company?
I'm the owner, and I'm also like the manager
Okay.
and agent on file.
So I would imagine you're physically there
Yes.
most of the time?
Yes.
Okay. So could you describe to this board, how you are going to ensure that alcohol is sold responsibly in your store?
So I did take the training, all right. So we check the IDs, and we don't sell from. We start selling around 12 p.m. and we make sure that if a customer has had 1, 2, 3 alcohol, and we basically keep an eye on them, so to make sure we don't oversell to them. We also make sure that they're quite safe to drive home by themselves. If not, we probably call a Uber for them. So we are checking IDs and making sure everyone is safe, basically.
Okay. And have you ever been the registered agent before?
Yes. So it was 2 of us. So we are changing an agent because the other person, the separation, basically.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Any questions for the applicant? For the record, the Smyrna Police Department did do the required background investigation and found nothing that would preclude the issuance of this privilege license. Having said that, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve privilege license agent change request LLC 2022-08 Beer and Wine Retail Pouring, 2579 South Cobb Drive, Najee Cuisines, African Restaurant and Bar, Esther Amaduju.
And he did, didn't he?
Second.
We have a motion to approve 2B with a proper second. If there's no further, I'll call for the vote. That motion passes unanimously. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Next item on the agenda, 22-038, to allow encroachment into 75-foot impervious area setback lot 262, 4282 Antler Trail, Eddie Carr as the applicant. Ms. Crow, good morning. In the background, please.
Good morning, Caitlin Crow, Planner 1, Community Development. Excuse me. So this variance is V22-038 to allow for the encroachment into the 75-foot impervious surface area setback. So the subject parcel is located right at the termination of Antler Trail in a cul-de-sac, and there's a stream that runs through the southwestern border of the property and continues through all adjacent properties. The applicant is proposing to build a 1,500 square foot pool and deck in their rear yard. And the existing house was actually constructed back in 1973, which was prior to the adoption of the stream buffer ordinance in 2005. So currently, because of this, the rear yard is greatly encumbered by both the city's 50-foot undisturbed stream buffer and the city's 75-foot impervious setback. The applicant has designed the pool to stay out of the 50-foot undisturbed buffer, but it does encroach into the 75-foot area setback, and thus the variance is warranted. No other variances are needed, as the existing shed will be removed per the applicant, and the property is well below the impervious coverage maximum of 35%. So the applicant will mitigate the rear yard encroachment by installing 6 flow wells on the side of the house. The city engineer has reviewed the application and the accompanying mitigation plan and does support the method used for buffer mitigation. Community Development believes that this hardship is not self-created, as the lot of record existed prior to the stream buffer ordinance. Community Development believes this is the minimum variance needed to allow for any outdoor amenity, and that there should be no negative impacts to any of the adjacent properties. Furthermore, the home is surrounded on 3 sides by vacant property, so any impacts would be very limited. And we have not received any calls in opposition to this request. It has been properly posted, and after reviewing the variance application, staff does support the request and recommends approval with the following 2 conditions. The first is our standard condition. Approval is conditioned upon substantial compliance with the site plan submitted with the variance application. And number 2, an inspection and maintenance agreement must be completed and recorded with the Cobb County Superior Court, and an as-built certification statement submitted to Community Development prior to completion of the pool permit. And with that, I can answer any questions.
Any questions for staff? Thank you, Ms. Crow.
Thank you.
Is the applicant present? Good morning. If you could please step forward and state your name for the record.
Morning, thank you for having me. My name is Rita Botner, and I'm with Bellarid Luxury Pools Permitting Department.
Okay, so you're here to represent the applicant, Eddie Carr?
Yes.
Okay. You just heard Ms. Crow read into the official record kind of a summation of the project and why there's the need for this variance. Do you have any additional information to add?
No, she covered it, everything.
Okay. So you also heard her read into record the 2 conditions that are associated with their recommendation for approval.
Yes.
Are you familiar with those conditions, and do
Yes.
you agree with them?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions for the applicant? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is a public hearing. If there's anybody here that'd like to speak for or against item 2C, I would ask that you step forward at this time. Seeing no one, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve variance request V22-03. Surface area setback lot 262, located at 4282 Antler Trail, Eddie Carr applicant.
Second.
A motion to approve 2C with a proper second. If there's no further discussion, I'll call for the vote. Motion passes unanimously. Last item on the agenda is item 3A, which is the approval of various board meeting minutes. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion to approve 3A with a proper second. If there's no further, I'll call for the vote. That motion passed unanimously. We'll adjourn at 10:10.
No, I mean, just, but starting it, like, where do you start? Usually you already have it up and ready. That would be
And then the meeting that's been loaded will be there.
Oh,
Just load it.
Keep resetting it up there.
so it's already pre-done before you come in.
Yeah, it's done on the Legistar side.
Okay. Fix who's
For that, yeah, fix who's here, who's not.
Yeah.
I'm positive.
Told him he's a good-looking man.
the whole time. Remember you saying that?
And then, thank you. Double click.
Right, I remember the double.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, Kaylin.